A dual relationship and unlawful practice are the top two reasons for the Louisiana Professional Counselors Board of Examiners, ND, to penalize a counselor. According to a previous report from the Healthcare Providers Service Organization, 2014, the most frequent professional liability claims against counselors and the most complaints made to licensure boards involved inappropriate sexual or romantic relationships with clients, their partners or family members, and the third most common is scope of practice. After reviewing the most prevalent causes for board discipline, I discovered that the majority of those who violate dual relationships are females who engage in non-sexual improper interactions with clients and inappropriate intimate relationships with clients. A 6-month suspension, 6 continuing education credit hours, $1,200 in legal fees, and an average of $2,000 in penalties are prevalent themes of discipline among this demographic for participating in a dual relationship with a client. Females practicing before registering as a licensed counseling intern is a common theme among individuals who engaged in unlawful practice. The majority of those who engaged in unlawful practice were reprimanded in order to complete 3 hours of continuing education, pay $1,200 in legal expenses, and pay an average of $400 in penalties. One of the cases involves a licensed professional counselor who tested positive for alcohol on a drug and alcohol test administered by the counselor's employer. In addition, the counselor participated in an addictionology assessment administered by a doctor, and the doctor determined that the counselor is not currently safe to practice with reasonable skill and safety. The rules of practice regarding drug and alcohol use state that a licensee must not use alcohol or drugs in a manner that adversely affects the licensee's ability to provide counseling, according to the Texas Behavioral Health Executive Council and Texas State Board of Examiners of Professional Counselors, ND. Violations of this law may result in a temporary license suspension of less than a year. A license shall be temporarily suspended when the council or an executive committee of the council determines that the continued practice by a licensee would constitute a continuing and imminent threat to the public welfare. According to the ACA Code of Ethics 2014, counselors act to avoid harming their clients, trainees, and research participants, and to minimize or to remedy unavoidable or unanticipated harm. Counselors know and comprehend the ACA Code of Ethics as well as other applicable ethics codes from professional organizations or certification and licensure bodies to which they belong. Finally, counselors aid in the enforcement of the ACA Code of Ethics. Counselors participate with the ACA Ethics Committee investigations, hearings, and obligations, as well as those of any lawfully established organizations or boards with jurisdiction over persons accused with a violation. The outcome of the board discipline is a suspension of license for 6 months, board reevaluation of suspension after 6 months, $1,200 in legal costs, and a $500 fine. According to the ACA Code of Ethics 2014, counselors monitor themselves for signs of impairment from their own physical, mental, or emotional problems and refrain from offering or providing professional services when impaired. According to the Texas State Board of Examiners of Professional Counselors, ND, the licensee must take reasonable precautions to protect clients from physical or emotional harm resulting from interaction of group or individual counseling. A violation of this code involves inadvertent or relatively minor misconduct and/or rule violations, and this could result in reprimand. Why does the ACA Code of Ethics not say anything directly concerning counselor drug or alcohol use? Is a question that this raises for me. Thank you.